On the day Grandma turned 100, my uncles, for the first time ever, decided to celebrate her birthday. They said the wishes made by a centenarian were the most powerful. The eldest uncle wanted endless wealth. He had Grandma blow out the first candle, and the next second, he received a call saying he had won the lottery. The second uncle wanted to change houses. He had Grandma blow out the second candle, and as it went out, he received news that his old house was going to be demolished. My cousin had been relentlessly pursuing the campus bell for years without success. He asked Grandma to blow out the third candle, and within minutes, the campus bell agreed to his confession. Grandma blew out the fourth candle, and my cousin, who weighed 200 pounds, slimmed down to just 80 pounds. Grandma blew out the fifth candle, and my younger brother, who was a poor student, received an admission letter from Tsinghua University. 99 candles. It burned for 3 days and 3 nights, only the last one remained. The elders pushed me in front of my grandmother. Your turn. My grandmother is one of the few centenarians in the village. Actually, when she was 90 years old, Grandma fell seriously ill, and the doctor tactfully suggested that the family make arrangements for her final affairs. Several uncles, aunts, and my father knelt at the hospital entrance for 3 days and 3 nights, pleading desperately. They even used expensive imported medicine. Finally, the hospital managed to save my grandmother's life. They said that no matter what, they had to keep Grandma alive. Everyone in the village said that the elders in our family were truly filial. Only I heard their conversation: cut what needs to be cut, replace what needs to be replaced, and intubate if necessary. Even if she becomes a vegetable, we must keep her breathing. The old thing has already lived to 90, can't she hold on for another 10 years? If she goes now, all our decades of hard work would have been in vain. No matter what, she must be kept alive. Through the glass, I saw tears streaming from Grandma's eyes. Because of this, I asked my dad, Grandma is in so much pain, why can't we let her find relief sooner? Dad smiled mysteriously, only telling me, a child, not to ask so many questions. I only found out later, there was a legend in Grandma's lineage: as long as she can live to be 100 years old, on her 100th birthday, all her wishes will come true. In the years that followed, Grandma had half of her stomach removed, a stent placed in her heart, 1 kidney taken out, and almost all of her blood replaced. She was in pain all over her body, lying in bed day and night, crying out, "Let me die, please let me die." Uncle stood at the door with his hands behind his back. He only coldly instructed the doctor to add more painkillers. Grandma had been lying in bed for too long, and her back was covered in bed sores. She asked her aunt to help her wash her body. Her aunt took one look and vomited. "Why bother washing an old thing like that? Just leave it be, it'll be fine in a few days." Grandma had lost all her teeth and couldn't eat solid food, so she had been on a liquid diet for half a year. She wanted to try something different. My dad still fed her the foul-smelling fish paste every day. Seafood is the most nutritious. Your goal right now is to stay alive. Grandma had trouble going to the bathroom. Third uncle let her relieve herself right on the bed, and so it went on, year after year, until she turned 99 years old. Grandma suddenly and miraculously regained her spirits. Her previously blind eyes could now see, her long atrophied legs suddenly could walk, the hair she had lost from chemotherapy also began to grow back. The village said it was a final rally before death, but my family got excited, because of Grandma's 100th birthday. "It's coming up soon," Dad said, as Grandma's blood relative. "Each of us can make a wish. It's Grandma's birthday, why should we make wishes?" Dad slapped me. "Just make a wish when I tell you to, no need for all that nonsense. If you really can't think of anything, you can wish for me to make a fortune." Grandma was also very happy that day. She ate a lot of food, which was quite unusual, and even cheerfully took a few sips of wine. After a few rounds of drinks, my eldest uncle suddenly clapped his hands to quiet everyone down. "Today is my mother's 100th birthday. We have an old tradition here, the wishes of a centenarian are the most powerful. Today, let's have Mom make a few wishes and give everyone a treat." The people in the courtyard cast greedy glances at Grandma. The small, thin old woman resembled a withered tree, sitting upright in the Grand Master's chair. In front of her was a table. On the table lay a giant longevity peach, adorned with 100 small red candles, densely packed like a sea of flames. Grandma stared at those candles for a long time. "Make a wish." "What kind of wish?" Uncle's expression changed immediately, but he still tried to conceal his emotions. "Mom, everyone makes a wish on their birthday. It's a tradition." "I see." Grandma seemed lost in thought, clasping her hands together. "All right, then I wish for myself." Before Grandma could finish her sentence, Uncle snatched the candle from her. "Mom, it's for us, not just for yourself. You should wish for your eldest son." Sun Baogua. To become immensely wealthy and have endless money to spend for the rest of his life, Auntie was sarcastically munching on sunflower seeds, laughing to death. How old are you, still thinking about yourself? What more could you possibly be dissatisfied with? We've been taking care of you until you're 100 years old. What else do you want? My cousin chimed in as well. Yeah, Grandma, blessings from a centenarian are so rare. Don't be so selfish and only think about yourself. Leave your wishes for us younger generations. The eldest uncle handed the candle back to Grandma. It was just that his tone carried a hint of threat. Mom, make a wish. Grandma took the candle and gave her eldest son a meaningful look. Make a wish for you. Uncle was taken aback for a moment. He nodded with a smile. Yes, yes, just make the wish as I said earlier. I saw Grandma's eyes grow misty, but soon returned to normal. She gave her uncle a meaningful look, muttering something with her eyes closed. Then she brought the candle to her mouth and blew on it. The fire was extinguished. At the same time, Uncle's phone rang. He pulled it out and glanced at it, his expression instantly changing. A text message popped up on the screen. He tapped to open it, and his hands began to tremble. He raised his head, his expression unclear whether it was a smile or a cry. The lottery, 30 million. The main room erupted into chaos. The second uncle was the second to jump up. Mom, it's my turn now. It's my turn. Please wish your second son, Sun Wenxiang, to soon buy a new house and live the life of a landlord like in the movies. Uncle's darkened mouth was adorned with several gold teeth. Yet he was unwilling to buy a set of dentures for Grandma. Grandma didn't look at him, reaching out to pick up the second candle. The candle went out. Second uncle's phone also rang. He answered it, listened for a moment, and his legs went weak, nearly causing him to kneel on the ground. The old house is going to be demolished, and they're compensating our family with an entire building. This time, the main hall fell completely silent. Everyone is looking at Grandma. Third aunt swallowed her saliva. Mom, it's my turn, it's my turn. Third aunt's eyes darted around in a circle. First, make a wish for my son. Let Dahua pass the interview, then make a wish for my husband. I hope old Chen's leg recovers to how it was before the amputation, then make a wish for myself. Fourth uncle interrupted her. I say, third sister, don't be too greedy, you can only make one wish per candle. Third aunt glanced at the 98 candles still left on the cake. All right, then let's make a wish for my son. First, Grandma didn't speak, blowing out the third candle. Third aunt's phone didn't ring. She opened her mouth, about to say something, when someone rushed in through the main hall door. That was my cousin. He held up his phone, his face flushed bright red. I passed the interview. Out of 20,000 candidates, I was the only one who passed. My cousin stood in the corner, her over 200-pound body making the plastic chair creak loudly. She was stuffing a longevity peach into her mouth, her cheeks bulging high. Grandma, it's my turn. Just wish for me to lose weight painlessly to 80 pounds and have a constitution that never gains weight no matter how much I eat. My cousin didn't move. 3 seconds later, she suddenly clutched her stomach and bent over. That stretched out sweater is gradually loosening up. The flesh around the waist is dropping off, layer by layer. My cousin touched her face, then her arms, and finally her ribs. She exclaimed excitedly, my wish has come true. The small old house is getting livelier. 6 male cousins are lining up, 5 female cousins are whispering to each other. 4 cousins were thinking about what wishes to make. 3 cousins were told by their parents not to mess things up later. Grandma sat in the master's chair, smiling as she watched her grandchildren playing in front of her. It's just that I think that smile carried a hint of eeriness. Second uncle got his immigration visa. Third uncle's cancer miraculously healed. The eldest cousin wished to marry the celebrity she had secretly loved for 10 years. The third cousin's company went public, with its stock hitting 3 consecutive limit-up boards. The fourth cousin's influencer account gained 1 million followers overnight, and advertisers lined up to sign contracts with her. The fifth cousin's gambling debts were written off, with the creditor sending a message saying there was no need to repay them. The candles are also getting fewer and fewer, from 100 to 80, from 80 to 60, from 60 to 40. Not long after, all those in the courtyard who were blood relatives of Grandma had already made their wishes once. Taking advantage of being the oldest, the eldest uncle and his 3 sons, each person made 3 wishes. When there were only 20 candles left, the atmosphere began to change. Just as uncle was reaching out to take the 4th one, second uncle stopped him. Why should you get 4? I only have 2, uncle glared at him. Why? Because I'm the eldest. What's wrong with me having 2 more? Besides, over all these years, taking care of Grandma, the medical expenses and nursing costs. Our family has borne the lion's share. Second aunt spat. Pa, you taking care of grandma, you have the nerve to say that. She plopped herself down on the table. Then let's settle this properly. When grandma broke her leg at 60, it was our Wenxiang who carried her to the hospital. She lay in your house for 5 days, and not a single one of you took her to the hospital. Bah, Auntie also jumped up. Don't think I don't know. Your dong gambled because he had his eye on grandma's insurance. You claimed 10,000 from the insurance but only spent 200 on grandma. And what hospital? It was clearly a shady clinic. If it weren't for you, mom's leg wouldn't have become lame so early. Bah, what nonsense. Don't think I don't know how grandma got her stomach illness. It's because you've been feeding her leftovers every day. And what did you say a few years ago? If it weren't for her wish to live to 100, you would have abandoned her on the mountain to fend for herself. Aunt and second aunt went back and forth, each adding their piece. Several people started arguing in the old house. The second uncle even grabbed a wine bottle. Who do you think you are? Don't think that just because you're 2 years older than me and I call you brother, you can walk all over me. The third aunt and the fourth aunt also began to quarrel. The third aunt wanted grandma to make another wish for her husband. Fourth aunt said it wasn't possible. It was her daughter's turn now. Didn't your daughter just make a wish? That doesn't count. She only wished to get into college. What kind of wish is that? She should be wishing to marry into a wealthy family. Do you understand? Third aunt lunged forward and grabbed fourth aunt's hair. The two were tangled together, hair disheveled, clothes torn, bloodstains under their fingernails. The cousins started fighting too. Can't you just let me make one damn wish? The older cousin roared, his eyes bloodshot. I'm older than you, so I go first. His cousin shoved him. The cousin punched his older cousin in the face. Blood gushed from his nose instantly, splattered on the wall, splattered on the cake, splattered on grandma's face. Grandma didn't move. She sat there, blood streaming down her face, yet she was still smiling, a smile that sent chills down one's spine. When there were only 10 candles left, there was no one left in line. Everyone crowded around the cake, stretching out their hands, mouths agape, their eyes gleaming with greed. But just at that moment, a knock sounded at the door. Uncle opened the door. It was a beggar. He was blind, holding an empty bowl. Hearing the noise inside the house, the blind man said, "What a lively family." The eldest uncle had no time to pay him any attention. Get out, I don't have time for you. Get out of here." The second uncle also urged them to close the door quickly, saying that family scandals should not be aired in public. He gave the beggar a push. The blind old man immediately fell to the ground, and his bowl rolled far away. The blind man fell to the ground. He said nothing, just watching grandma from across the crowd. I picked up the bowl and placed 2 longevity peaches inside. Grandpa, I put 2 steamed buns in the bowl. They're clean, take them and eat. The beggar held the bowl but was in no hurry to leave. Instead, he glanced at me twice, hesitating to speak. Sin, my dad grabbed me and pulled me up. What are you daydreaming about? I told you to go grab the candles, and here you are handing out alms to beggars. You're never as clever as your brother in anything you do. Dad pushed the beggar again. Get out, get lost. But the beggar stood still in place, unmoving. Good and evil will eventually be repaid. There is karma in the human world. No sin is greater than covetousness, no calamity greater than discontent. Stop now. Before he could finish, third aunt snatched the bowl from his hand. She smashed the bowl to pieces. Stop with the nonsense. Get out of here. The door closed. Inside, the fight over the remaining candles continued until Uncle finally crawled up to the cake. He reached out and grabbed a handful of candles, clutching 7 or 8 in his hand. Mine, they're all mine. Second uncle lunged forward and bit his hand. My father joined in as well. What are you still looking at? Hurry up and grab it. Both Mom and my younger brother pounced on it. Mom had half of her hair pulled out. In the midst of the chaos, my younger brother picked up the phone from the ground and started a game. For a moment, sounds of quarrels, screams, and curses echoed incessantly. In the chaos, the candle was stomped out, the flame extinguished with a sizzling sound. Someone cried. It was my cousin. She clutched the extinguished candles and wailed, my wish is gone, you fucking owe me my wish." A few minutes earlier, Uncle received a phone call, saying his stock account was frozen and it would take some time to unfreeze it. Second uncle received a call, saying there was an error with the demolition location, and the site needed further discussion. Third uncle's immigration certificate was sent back for re-evaluation. My brother's admission letter has an error. We need to recheck his grades. The dream that had come true was on the verge of shattering. The uncles exchanged glances. It must be because I wasn't sincere enough when I made my wish just now. The remaining candle is mine, it's mine. After a long while again, some people on the ground had stopped moving, some were still twitching, and some were still muttering something under their breath, but the living did not spare them a glance. Everyone had gone mad, only 4 candles remained. They formed a circle around the candle, 4 flames dancing in the middle, flickering so wildly it made everyone's heart race. No one dared to move. Whoever moved would be beaten to death by the others. Split it equally. The eldest uncle spoke up. We brothers and sisters will split it equally. 4 sticks. How do we divide them? There are 5 of us sisters. Draw lots. Who draws? We all draw together. Where's the contract? Silence, a long silence, only the sizzling sound of the burning candle and the howling wind outside. Third aunt suddenly laughed. With one less person, wouldn't it be enough to share? Everyone was looking at her, and she was staring coldly at her eldest uncle. The third uncle is 65 this year, the eldest son of their grandmother. He's the oldest and has lived long enough, and besides, he's made enough wishes. Third aunt said, eldest brother, you're the oldest, you've enjoyed enough blessings, the next wish should be for us younger siblings. Uncle took a step back, his back hitting the wall. You're insane. Third aunt took a step forward, clutching a piece of broken bottle in her hand. Second uncle followed behind her. Next came third uncle. Eldest uncle was terrified. Have you all gone mad? We are siblings. Can't I just give you this candle? Biological siblings. Third aunt laughed. When you were fighting for the candle earlier, you broke my leg. Did you ever stop to think that I'm your biological sister? And don't believe him either. When he was grabbing the candles earlier, he never said he wanted to back out. He's just a greedy wolf in sheep's clothing. Don't fall for his lies. He couldn't make his own wish come true, so he'll ruin those candles. I saw him stomp on and break several just now. Uncle was stunned. The wine bottle in third aunt's hand came crashing down, but the one who fell was third aunt. My dad raised the knife in his hand. Pa, a married daughter is like water spilled on the ground. Once she's married, she belongs to someone else's family, not our son family anymore. All of us brothers make wishes for the good of the son family, but she makes wishes for outsiders. Uncle heaved a sigh of relief. Second uncle threw away the wine bottle, panting heavily. Fourth uncle stood there in a daze. 4 roots, 4 people, enough to share. Let each of us make one last wish. No one spoke, no one objected. They held the candles, watching the flames, like starving people seeing food. I've made my wish. It's time for the old lady to blow them out. The eldest uncle said. Everyone looked at the armchair. The moment their eyes turned, everyone froze in shock. The armchair was empty. Grandma was gone. Where is the old lady? Where did the old lady go? My dad turned and asked me. I was too timid when grabbing the candles earlier, hiding in the corner all along. I didn't see anything. Several people rushed out of the main hall. Not in the courtyard, not in the kitchen, not in the toilet, not in the woodshed, not in any room. They searched the entire old house. They turned over every corner, opened every cabinet, emptied under the beds, and poked holes in the ceiling. No, she was nowhere to be found. It was as if Grandma had vanished into thin air. Fourth uncle knelt on the ground, wailing loudly, my wish, I just want to become young again. Eldest uncle dragged his fractured arm. The old lady has trouble walking, so she can't have gone far. Find her for me. No one answered. They stood in the courtyard, candles clutched in their hands. The flames flickered in the night wind, now bright, now dim. The wind grew stronger, and the candles went out one by one. No one noticed that the sky had darkened and then brightened again. It lit up and then went dark again, until my dad asked a question. What time is it? I looked up at the sky. It's 8 o'clock on the third night. Has it already been 3 days? In the darkness, someone screamed. It was third sister. My face. Someone lit a lighter, and the faint flame illuminated the scene. Third sister's face was rotting. Chunks of flesh fell off one by one, revealing the pale bones beneath. The bones began to turn black, grow brittle, and crumble into powder. My wish is gone. She lunged at her cousin, grabbing his collar with her already decaying hands. Her cousin pushed her away, his face also beginning to rot, starting from his forehead. The flesh peeled off layer by layer. Second uncle, eldest sister, fourth aunt, cousin. Everyone's faces were rotting away. Flesh fell to the ground, sizzling as it hit. They rolled on the floor, screaming in agony, their voices growing weaker and fainter. I stood in the corner, watching it all, from beginning to end. I did not move, I did not participate in snatching the candle, nor did I make a wish, because I knew the person sitting in the grand armchair was not Grandma at all. One could also say that person was not my living grandmother at all. Grandmother had died 5 years ago. That night, she called me to her bedside and held my hand with my last bit of strength. I told her, Xiao Nan, Grandma is leaving, but remember, no matter what happens, never make a wish, don't touch a single candle. Why? Because those candles are lives. What lives? Your uncle's lives. Grandma's hands grew colder, her eyes dimmer. They kept me alive until I was 100, not for my sake, but so I could make wishes for them on my birthday. But they didn't know, the one who makes the wish has to pay a price. What price? Every wish costs a year of life. The bigger the wish, the more it takes. Once the candles burn out, they're gone. And what about you, Grandma? Grandma smiled. Grandma has been gone for a long time. I should have left 5 years ago. Now, this breath is kept going by all sorts of tubes they've hooked me up to, but tubes can't hold on to life. Life is like a candle. Once it burns out, it's gone. Grandma's empty gaze looked up at the sky. She didn't answer, just smiled, then closed my eyes, never opened them again. For the 5 years after that, I said nothing. I watched my uncles and aunts send my grandmother to the hospital. Again and again, I saw them insert various tubes into her body. My father forced disgusting fish paste into her mouth every day. The bed sores on her body broke open over and over, crawling with maggots. I feel heartbroken for Grandma. I secretly give Grandma her favorite cornbread from before. I bring a towel and gently wash Grandma's body, even though she had been dead for a long time, but I wanted her to be comfortable. In my memory, Grandma was a woman of few words. Every time I return to the old house, she always sits alone by the door. When she sees me coming, she grabs my hand, and quietly slips me a handful of candy. Those candies were all for my younger brother. Grandma felt sorry for me and secretly saved some for me. My uncles used their own greed to keep Grandma alive. They made her last 5 years a living hell, let her not rest in peace even in death. They didn't know it was just an empty shell. Grandma had long since passed away, but that shell could still move, because the candles are burning. 100 candles. Burning for 5 years, they have been burning until today. Several younger ones couldn't bear it, turned into bloody water and flowed onto the ground. I watched those puddles slowly seep into the soil. My dad's and mom's faces also began to fester. Son Xiaonan, why are you fine? Why are you fine? I stood beside him, looking down at him from above. Because I didn't make a wish. My aunt lunged at me. Yes, she didn't make a wish. Everyone was making wishes, but this damn girl didn't. Do you know something? I shook my head. I don't know anything. I just don't have any wishes I want to fulfill. Impossible. Everyone has their own desires. My eldest uncle endured the pain and stood up. You must have conspired with that old hag. Did you poison tonight's meal? My mother also rushed toward me. Xiaonan, tell me the truth. Did you conspire with Grandma? Is there an antidote? My mother doesn't talk much, but she is the worst to my grandmother. She has been driving a wedge between my grandmother and me since I was little. She has told me more than once that my grandmother favors boys over girls, that she only likes my brother and not me, yet it was she who clearly favored sons over daughters. During the years when Grandma was bedridden, Mom quietly sold the dowry Grandma had from her youth. She said, after all, Grandma can't take these things with her when she dies. If we don't take it, your uncles will. Among them was a ring left to her by her grandmother's mother, a small ring. Grandma treasured it and always wore it on her finger. My mother practically skinned me alive to get that ring off. At night, I secretly stole that ring and quietly slipped it to Grandma. Grandma, the ring Mom gave you, I got it back for you. Keep the ring hidden. At that time, Grandma could no longer utter a single word, but she clutched the ring tightly. Tears streamed down the corners of her eyes. Over and over again, Mom slapped me back to reality. Tell me, was it you? Did you collude with this old thing? I covered my face. It wasn't me. I don't know what happened either. At that moment, second uncle suddenly slapped his forehead. It's that beggar. Yes, it must be that beggar's doing. Ever since he came in, he's been spouting all that nonsense. He must have poisoned the cake. The aunt screamed, go catch him and bring him back. As soon as the words were spoken, the door was pushed open. The person who came was none other than the beggar, who had just been asking for food. He was still holding that empty bowl. Good and evil will eventually be repaid. The old lady sitting in the armchair earlier was not a living person, and the candles you blew out were your own lives. The candle has burned out, and now it's time for you to pay with your lives. My father fell to his knees with a thud. Master, you must have a way to break this curse. Right, we'll give you money. Endless amounts of money. The beggar stroked the beard at the corner of his mouth. "Do you still have one last candle left?" Second uncle cautiously spoke up. "We still have 4 left." But when he raised the candles in his hand, out of the 4 candles, 3 were broken. The uncles' faces were filled with terror. The beggar continued, "At midnight, wish for everything to return to how it was. The money will vanish, the gold will vanish, and everything else will come back." After saying this, he left. Second uncle plopped down on the ground. Fourth uncle covered his half-ruined face and let out a sigh of despair. All the wishes they had made earlier had come true. Eldest uncle had an endless supply of money in his account. Second uncle's stock funds are still skyrocketing. My dad also inexplicably gained 2 more buildings. "We have to return the wish," uncle muttered to himself. That's money I could never earn in my entire life." Second uncle also cried, "No, there must be another way." What other way could there be? The old lady is nowhere to be found. If we can't find anyone to blow out the candles, then no matter what we wish for, it's useless. Since we can still make wishes, why don't we wish for all of us to recover our health, for the children to return to normal, for our previous wishes not to vanish, and to live peacefully and smoothly until we're 100 years old? The eldest aunt's eyes lit up. That's actually a good idea. So the current situation is, we need to find the old lady quickly. The night grew darker. A cold wind swept through the withered leaves on the ground. An empty armchair, the cake was shattered all over the floor. There was no sign of Grandma anywhere. A few people, dragging their battered bodies, searched the courtyard once more. Still nothing. At this moment, my dad remembered something. How about using her favorite thing to lure her out? What things? When Grandma was 3 years old, her grandfather passed away, and it was Grandma's mother who raised her. So what Grandma couldn't let go of the most was grandmother. Second uncle fetched a shovel. "Old Ma's grave is in the backyard. If the old lady doesn't come out, we'll dig up old Ma's grave." "Yes, she's an old woman with 1 foot in the grave. We're not afraid of her." Fourth uncle also brought a shovel. Several aunts held hoes. My father, dragging his body, also fetched tools. There are still a few cousins who can move. We have many people. We're not afraid she won't come out. If she doesn't, we'll dig up her mother's grave. In no time at all, they stood before their grandmother's grave. Although it was a grave several decades old, the surroundings were kept clean and tidy. On the tombstone, not a single speck of dust could be found. During the years when Grandma was in good health, she would often go to talk at her grandmother's grave. Even in front of the tombstone, there were still longevity peaches placed there, brought over 2 days ago. Seeing this, third uncle hesitated a bit. "You think we're going too far? If Mom doesn't come out, we'll dig up our ancestors' graves." My dad spat. "Bah, she brought it on herself." My mother also chimed in. "If she doesn't come out, we're the ones who will die. We have to make her last wish." Second uncle sighed. "That's true." They stood before the tall mound of earth. "Mom, come out. We don't have any bad intentions. We just want to live well. We've worked hard for most of our lives, and we only have a few small wishes." "That's right, you're our own mother. I don't think you want to see us die just as we're about to fulfill our wishes." No one wanted things to come to this. If you hadn't hidden, we could have talked things out properly. The group chattered on for a long while, but no one showed themselves. The night grew deeper. That beggar said it must be before 12 o'clock, otherwise even a god couldn't save us. My dad cursed a few more times, then he lifted the shovel. "If you don't come soon, I'll really start digging. I heard that if you dig up the bones and pour black dog's blood on them, the dead will never rest in peace. Then don't blame us for being impolite." Just as he raised his shovel, a thin, small figure appeared in the corner of the wall. I took a closer look. It was Grandma. My dad rushed over first. Mom, you finally came out. I knew you wouldn't just stand by and watch me die." Fourth uncle followed along as well. "That's right, Mom, we're all your beloved children. We only have one last wish left, so please grant it for us." Another piece of fourth uncle's face rotted away, flesh mixed with blood, like melted wax, dripping bit by bit onto the ground. Uncle walked over, holding the last candle. He lit the candle. "Come on, Mom, make a wish." Grandma opened her eyes, watching everything coldly. It took a long time before she managed to squeeze out a sentence from her throat. "Is this the last wish?" Several people spoke in unison. "Yes, the last one, we swear." Grandma kept her eyes tightly shut. She neither agreed nor refused. Second uncle was overjoyed. He quickly lit the candle. Carefully, he handed it to Grandma. "Make a wish. May all your descendants regain their health. May all your previous wishes come true, and may everyone live safely to 100 years old." In the shadows, I saw Grandma's eyes dim. She murmured to herself, "Everyone lived safely to 100 years old, but I wasn't among them." Grandma closed her eyes and remained silent for a long while. The time was getting later and later. Second uncle was growing impatient. Mom, what are you still hesitating about? We brothers and sisters promise that we will take good care of you and make your later years comfortable. Yes, Mom, please trust us. Grandma finally slowly opened her eyes, but she reached out her hand and pointed her finger at me. Xiao Nan hasn't made a wish yet tonight. Several uncles and my father all turned their gazes toward me in unison. Yes, Xiao Nan hasn't made a wish yet. Grandma beckoned to me. Then come here, Xiao Nan. I slowly walked over. Grandma patted my shoulder, her voice turned gentle. Like many years ago, when I was 4 years old, I was first brought back to my hometown. There was a white-haired old lady sitting by the door, basking in the sun. I was wearing ill-fitting shoes and tattered clothes. My cousin shoved me to the ground. Give me the New Year's money my dad gave you. That's my dad's money. Why should I give it to you? My cousin snatched away the New Year's money that was meant for me. My younger brother grabbed the candy from my pocket. I brushed the dirt off my clothes. I stood up without crying. I looked up and saw my grandmother. She walked towards me with a cane, trembling unsteadily. She stuffed a handful of candy into my arms. Along with it came a crumpled 100-yuan bill. Grandma gave this to you. Hide it well. Don't let anyone snatch it away. Now, my 100-year-old grandmother stood before me once again, still with that kind face and gentle tone. Good girl, what is your wish? I take the 100th candle. Holding it in my hands, my eldest uncle murmurs in my ear, do as I just said. You don't want your brother to die like this, do you? My dad also said, all the money in our family is yours, as long as you can bring your brother back to life. My mom gave me a look. Say one wrong word and I'll beat you to death. My uncle urged me on. Right, just say that all the previous wishes still count, and the last one is only for the health of all the younger generation. Facing the expectant gazes of everyone, I hold the candle. With piety and determination, I clasp my hands together and close my eyes. I say to Grandma, I hope Grandma can live to 100, healthy and happy. As soon as the words were spoken, the candle went out. In my ears were the roars of the crowd, curses, and there was Dad's raised hoe and Mom's hand raised in the air. A strong wind blew them all away. Waking up once more, I found myself back many years ago. That time, I went back to my hometown with my parents. At the entrance of the courtyard, I saw my grandmother. Her hair was gray, sitting in front of the door, basking in the sun. Basking in the sun with her was a little tabby cat. Seeing that little cat, I seemed to remember something. What legend about making a 100-year-old wish coming true? Everything is because of this little raccoon cat. Grandma has kept this little cat for 20 years. When Grandma lived alone in the old house, only this little cat stayed by her side without ever leaving. For 20 years, the two of them, one person and one cat, relied on each other for survival. But later, just because the kitten suddenly jumped out and startled my infant cousin in his swaddling clothes, fourth uncle killed the cat on the spot. Grandma knelt on the ground, pleading desperately, begging them to spare the kitten's life. Fourth aunt cursed fiercely, old thing that won't die, even the cat you raise is an old thing that won't die. She begged uncle. Uncle frowned. Oh, I say, since you have the time and energy, why not properly look after your grandchildren? What's the point of raising a stray animal? Second uncle also looked disgusted. With so many children in the house, what if your cat has some disease that spreads to them? In my opinion, if it dies, it dies. That year, there were indeed many children returning to the old house, but they only stayed for a day at most before leaving. But that little cat stayed with Grandma for a full 20 years. Everyone said the cat should be killed. Everyone said it was just an animal. Their condescending attitudes, cold expressions, and disgusting words. The one who cried that day was only Grandma. That little dead kitten was not just an animal, it was Grandma's family. Grandma cried out to heaven and earth, but no one answered. Watching helplessly as the kitten breathed its last. Ever since then, Grandma's health has been in decline. That legend was inexplicably unearthed from the family's ancient books. Several uncles and elders took it as the truth. Grandma said she died several years ago, so she has been kept alive, waiting for revenge. It was that little cat, but its energy is too weak and requires someone's cooperation. The next day, I was awakened by the sound of a siren. I woke up again. I was lying in the hospital. Soon, a police officer came in to ask questions, asked me what happened 3 days ago. I told the police everything exactly as it happened. It was my grandmother's 100th birthday. The elders in the family came to celebrate her birthday. We made wishes, blew out the candles, and ate the cake. After that, I don't know what happened. I was unconscious for 7 days and 7 nights before I woke up. The doctor said there were toxic mushroom components in my body, but fortunately the concentration wasn't high. As for my family, they ate too many toxic mushrooms and have already died from poisoning. That day, the descendants who went to attend Sun Yuning's 100th birthday celebration, a total of 28 people, only one survived. Did you know there were poisonous mushrooms in the cake? So you didn't eat much? I shook my head. No, I got carsick from the long ride that day and kept vomiting after getting off the car, so I couldn't eat. The police later checked the surveillance footage. Before returning to Sunjiagu, I did go to the clinic to buy motion sickness patches, and the surveillance camera at the village entrance also captured me vomiting several times after getting off the car. The surveillance footage showed the family happily walking into the old house and never coming out again, but there are still unexplainable aspects to this case. Everyone ate the cake, even Sun Wenxiang and Sun Zihan, who never eat cake, had some. The autopsy revealed everyone voluntarily ate it. Even when they died, they were happy, because on their faces, there were eerie smiles. Although poisonous mushrooms contain hallucinogenic components, it seems too coincidental that everyone was poisoned. Did anything else strange happen that day? I shook my head. No, the case was closed just like that. 27 people died from poisoning, with no evidence and no leads. There is no evidence to prove that I was the one who poisoned, and I alone couldn't have made everyone willingly eat the cake. Returning home, I pulled out a yellowed book from under the bed. I silently turned to page 100, tore out that page. That's right, that ancient legend was written by me, all for the sake of making everyone believe in this legend. The kitten's power is still very weak. The bloodline curse must make everyone believe it, which will be twice the result with half the effort. All forms are illusory. If you see all forms as non-forms, then you see the Tathagata. What you desire is what you see. What I need to do is to make everyone firmly believe in this legend. The window by the door creaked. I saw a kitten jump onto the windowsill. It stretched lazily toward me. Meow. The kitten turned and disappeared into the darkness. Under the moonlight, two shadows stretched long and thin, a kitten and an old man with unsteady steps. They accompanied each other, walking into the moonlight. Hot tears streamed down from my eyes. Grandma, in the next life, you must live well with the kitten. Suddenly, I felt something hard in my pocket. I pulled it out and took a look. A pink, glittery candy wrapper, encasing a piece of candy, just like the one Grandma secretly slipped me when I was 4 years old. After hearing the first story above, what are your thoughts? Feel free to share your opinions in the comments section. Next, there is another similar story. Let's continue to see. I promised my niece a Chanel bag after her college entrance exams. The day she got the bag, her voice trembled with excitement. Chanel, it must cost 80,000 yuan. A fake friend casually declared it a counterfeit. This is obviously fake. The leather doesn't even smell right. Indeed, it's different from the one my mom bought at the department store. The plump, college-enriched face gradually twisted in anger. If you don't want to buy it, then don't. Stop pretending to be a rich aunt. It's embarrassing. I was just about to pull out the card transaction record. She grabbed the cake-cutting knife and hurled it fiercely at me. A sense of terror and suffocation from the rush of blood flooded every pore of my body. But when I opened my eyes, I found myself in the bathroom. The water from the shower head poured down in a gushing arc, exactly like the blood that spurted from my neck just before I died. I struggled painfully in the pool of blood, while Zhang Jieqi screamed at me like a groundhog. You've dirted my cake. I've cherished her for 19 years, yet she vents her anger with a knife over a designer bag, and even complains that the blood I spattered has stained her cake. Duo, just like in my previous life, is jumping up and down at the bathroom door, reminding me that all of this is not a dream. I was reborn. I'm usually very busy with work and rarely wear makeup. I typically just fill in my eyebrows and apply sunscreen before heading out, but Zhang Jieqi said that she had specifically invited many friends today to admire her aunt's stunning beauty, and insisted that I wear a full face of makeup. She even specified that I should wear that Chanel suit with the prominent logo and carry my most expensive bag. I felt it was somewhat inappropriate. Is it about the person or the clothes and bags? True friends don't need you to compare with these things. She tugged at my sleeve, acting coquettishly. Auntie, you're the best and most beautiful auntie in the whole world. Please. In my previous life, I really fell for this act of hers. Duo suddenly licked me, pulling me back to reality. It was a stray dog I picked up, very timid. When I first brought it home, it always liked to hide behind the curtains, so I simply named it Duo. It's usually very docile, always lying on the carpet with its little ears drooping, looking even a bit pitiful, but it was unusually restless on the day of Zhang Jieqi's college entrance celebration banquet. First, it anxiously scratched at the bathroom door while I was showering, and kept jumping on me while I was doing my makeup. Then, while I was on a video call with Zhang Jieqi. It bared its teeth and barked incessantly. I pushed open the bathroom door, and as soon as I bent down slightly, it darted up. I gently soothed, Duo, don't be afraid, I won't die this time. At noon, I rang the doorbell of my sister's house. Carrying a beautifully packaged Chanel bag, after a series of hurried and cheerful footsteps, I received a big hug. Of course, it was after taking the bag from my hand. Auntie, why are you so slow today? We were waiting for you to cut the cake. Wow, Jieqi, your aunt really is a stunning beauty. I'm so envious of you. It's so exquisite, all covered in luxury brands. Your aunt must be very wealthy, right? Zhang Jieqi raised her head, her face filled with the satisfaction of having her vanity gratified. The familiar scene, the familiar group of people, and in the middle of the living room, that fairy-style three-tiered cake, covered in pale-colored petals adorned with plump pink and white roses and pearls. The cake was chosen by Zhang Jieqi after a week of deliberation, and of course, I was the one who paid for it. Jieqi, hurry up and open the bag, let us take a look. Your aunt is so good to you. I begged my mom for 3 months, and she still wouldn't buy it for me. Zhang Jieqi had originally wanted to act a bit more reserved, but their words played right into her hands. She couldn't wait to carry the box to the sofa, her lips twitching with excitement, and from the side, even her eyes and apple cheeks seemed to be smiling. While she was unwrapping the packaging, I found the murder weapon from my previous life, the cake knife. Just as I was about to put it in my bag, Xia Meng came out of the kitchen carrying the lobster, looking puzzled. Hey, Xia Zhu, why are you taking the knife? We still need to cut the cake later. I take out an ordinary disposable plastic knife. Let's use this instead. This cake shop is impeccable in both service and taste, but why on earth did they have to make the knife out of alloy? If it were to be stabbed into someone's neck, it could be fatal. On such a joyous day, why talk about death? Hurry up and say, poo poo poo, to ward it off. I looked over the food on the table, none of which was to my liking. Sis, the college entrance exam results haven't even been released yet. What's there to celebrate? Xia Meng was clearly taken aback. The child has endured years of hard study and finally made it through. Isn't that a great joy? Are the results really that important? She has her aunt to back her up, so even if her grades aren't good, you can still send her abroad to study. We're not like those kids who have no one to support them. As she said these words, her expression was calm, and even the corners of her eyes and brows carried a sense of natural superiority. I absent-mindedly scrolled through my phone, to raise a low-level workhorse. Do you really need to send it to a foreign trough? Jieqi's grades are so poor, spending so much money to get a watered-down degree abroad, only to come back and have to start over. It's not worth the loss. Wang Hai, smoking nearby, couldn't hold back. Hey, what's going on with you today, Mr. Xia? Don't drop the ball at a critical moment. Didn't you say, studying abroad is all about the life experience? If it's not good, what did you go for? Seeing that I didn't respond, he sized me up again. Look at how successful you are now. You can even be an executive at a listed company. Jieqi is prettier than you and will have a brighter future than you. Don't worry, sister-in-law, investing in her is a sure win. As he spoke, he even shared a knowing smile with Xia Meng. Your brother-in-law is right. When you get old, Jieqi will definitely take good care of you. Since you're not getting married anyway, all your money will go to Jieqi in the future. Family bonds are priceless, and blood is thicker than water. If in my previous life I still thought it was a waste for Xia Meng to end up with such a man, now I can only say, serves her right. They're a perfect match, a pair of idiots. I squeezed between Wang Hai and Xia Meng, making a shushing gesture. Invest and you won't lose. Is there a contract? What's the return rate? When can you cash out? How much is the penalty for breach of contract? The spoiled rice you two have raised won't become a Manchuhan imperial feast, even if it goes to Mars, let alone abroad. Xia Meng and Wang Hai exchanged glances, their faces filled with shock. You should know, I've always doted on Zhang Jieqi the most, even to the point of spoiling her. I can endure being wronged, but my precious niece was born to be a princess. There is no such thing as a purely ungrateful person in this world, and a child does not turn bad for no reason. I believe that a child's attitude toward me reflects the attitude of my family behind my back. Chanel. It costs 80,000 yuan. Zhang Jieqi was so happy that she danced with joy, but I shivered as if I had returned to my previous life. The moment life begins its countdown, a dozen or so female classmates chattered and buzzed, surrounding Zhang Jieqi, who fluttered about like a butterfly. Jieqi, I have a feeling about your bag. It was Lu Zihan, the one who had falsely accused others of fakes in the previous life. She hadn't finished speaking when a small card that suddenly fell out of her bag caught everyone's attention, with a prominent QR code and a line of small text below it: all major brand bags and jewelry available, add WeChat for details. Zhang Jieqi's smile froze, her fair and rosy face gradually turning pale and purple. She crumpled the card into a ball, staring at me as if she wanted to devour me. Lu Zihan instantly doubled over with laughter. See, I knew it at a glance. Your aunt is so stingy, either don't give a gift at all, or give a real one if you do, he 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 he. Wang Zhenjin whispered in a voice that everyone could hear, it really is different from what my mom bought at the counter. Among these female classmates, Zhang Jieqi and the other two have the worst character, and the three of them usually interact the most. Lu Zihan is sharp-tongued and enjoys sowing discord, while Wang Zhenjin appears sweet and lovely on the surface but is actually very scheming and has ill intentions. She and Lu Zihan engaged in covert bullying in the class, isolating a child whose parents were both disabled. As for Zhang Jieqi, she presented herself to me as someone with strong moral values and a deep hatred for evil. Now it seems she was undoubtedly one of them as well. Zhang Jieqi still clung to a last shred of hope, forcing out an awkward, unpleasant smile. Auntie, you're joking with me, right? Come on, tell me you're kidding. I know you don't like my vanity. You must have bought the real thing and wanted to surprise me, right? I didn't confirm or deny it, just watched her quietly, her delicate face instantly twisted into a grimace, her chest heaving violently. She casually grabbed the plastic cake knife nearby and stabbed it into the bag, one cut after another. While stabbing, she roared loudly, if you don't want to buy it, then don't. Why pretend to be a rich aunt, making me lose face in front of so many people? You say you love me so much, but you're not even willing to buy an 80,000 yuan bag. Just wait to get beaten up in the nursing home later, you'll die and rot without anyone noticing. Xia Meng and Wang Hai exchanged awkward glances. Clearly, this was something the two of them often gossiped about behind my back, because I said I'm a non-marriage advocate and don't plan to have children in this lifetime. At this moment, Lu Zihan was covering her mouth and giggling, while Wang Zhenjin looked at Zhang Jieqi with a face full of sympathy. I cleared my throat. Zihan, as expected of you, your eyes are really sharp. I bought this bag from your dad, as soon as I said I needed it urgently. It was delivered in half an hour. 5-star review, for sure. Lu Zihan instantly flushed with anger. Zhao Jieqi, I only told you about this. Zhang Jieqi felt a bit guilty. She didn't dare to look at Lu Zihan and glared at me fiercely instead, then threw the completely ruined bag and the plastic knife into the trash can together. I seized the opportunity to add fuel to the fire. Jieqi says you're a bit pretentious, with a strong northeastern accent in your speech, and you're always putting on a cutesy Taiwanese accent, just to chase after that rich second-generation guy in your class who looks like a kappa. Lu Jieqi's fists clenched tighter and tighter, and I turned my head, pretending not to see. Zhenjin, Jieqi said that your mother is your father's mistress. If this were in ancient times, you would be a concubine's daughter and wouldn't be qualified to play with a legitimate daughter like her. Jieqi also said that all your mother's bags were given by the master of your house. Listen to your aunt. Make sure to hide them well and don't let the mistress find out. It's not like ancient times anymore, it's marital property, and she has every right to take it back. Zhang Jieqi, both of their faces grew increasingly grim, their eyes filled with murderous intent. After all the kindness we showed you, you turned out to be so disgusting behind our backs. You instigated Jinjin to isolate Du Qianyu. Isn't it just because the school heartthrob likes Du Qianyu? We have the video of you slapping her in the classroom on graduation photo day. Do you want the school heartthrob to see what kind of person you are? Xia Meng and Wang Hai, seeing the situation was not good, quickly rushed forward. I rubbed my ears, which were ringing from the shock, and pulled the cake cart over with lightning speed. Oh, little girls, stop making a fuss, come and have some cake. As I expected, Lu Zihan's body lurched forward violently, and he crashed heavily into the cake. My cake. Zhang Jieqi was horrified, but the momentum was too great, and it was too late to pull back. She stood frozen in place, her mouth slightly agape, still clutching a handful of hair tightly in her hand. The air instantly froze, and everyone in the room dared not even breathe. The remnants of the cake, along with Lu Zihan, were messily stuck to the cart. The floor was littered with scattered cream petals and pearl sugar beads. Wang Zhenjin was so frightened that she kept backing away. Zhang Jieqi, have you gone crazy? Zhang Jieqi completely lost control, grabbed a handful of cream, and flung it into Lu Zhenjin's mouth from a distance. Lu Zihan stumbled and struggled to break free, and the three of them immediately started fighting in a tangle. Because the floor tiles were too slippery, they grabbed each other's hair to stand up, only to slip and fall again, then rise once more. Delete the video right now. If anyone dares to send it to the school heartthrob, I'll kill her. Du Qianyu, born to two stinking mutes, how dare you compete with me? The scene was so bizarre and ridiculous that I didn't want to laugh, but I just couldn't hold it in. Thinking of Du Qianyu mentioned by Zhang Jieqi, I suddenly felt a bit sad. I heard from Xia Meng that she had excellent grades, ranking in the top 3 in her grade. The mute's child is 100 times better than you. This was what Xia Meng would inevitably say to Zhang Jieqi every time the report cards were handed out. I remember one time when I went to pick up Zhang Jieqi, through the car window, I saw Du Qianyu helping his parents cook fried rice at the school gate, in 30-degree weather, wearing a hood and a mask. His movements were skillful, but the way he kept his head down, not daring to look up, was heartbreaking. So when Zhang Jieqi sat in the car, pouting and asking me for 3,000 yuan, saying that Du Qianyu was pitiful and she wanted to secretly help him, I didn't hesitate at all and even praised her profusely. I never expected that the real person bullying Du Qianyu would actually be her. I took advantage of the chaos to slip away, and Xia Meng angrily chased me to the door, pointing at my nose and scolding, "Xia Zhu, you've taken this joke too far. Jieqi has such strong self-esteem, how will she face others in the future? Go to the boutique now and buy a genuine bag. Then get that limited edition Bubba charm to hang on it. It would be best to also buy that Dior velvet dress she's always liked. Kids don't hold grudges, I guarantee she'll forgive you in an instant." Her confident and righteous demeanor left me feeling a bit dazed, as if I were the ungrateful one. I smiled. She doesn't hold grudges, but I do. Didn't you hear what your precious daughter just said about me? Do I look like a velvet dress to you? I'm not her mother. Since she likes it so much, why don't you buy it for her? Perhaps the contrast with my usual self was too stark. Xia Meng was stunned for a long time before finally managing to say, "Aren't you asking a question you already know the answer to? Your brother-in-law and I together make less than 10,000 a month. If you can't afford it, just go to the night market and pick one out. Every year on my birthday, don't you always go and pick one out for me? The cost of one velvet dress is enough for you and your mother to cover over a dozen walls. And that hideous doll that makes people cringe, do you know how much a limited edition costs? It's several thousand yuan." Xia Meng spread her hands. "You're not short of money. As long as Jieqi is happy, people always say that daughters should be raised in luxury." Suddenly, I felt a sense of powerlessness, as if punching cotton, and couldn't be bothered to argue any further. "Raise her however you like, but please use your own money to do it. My money has other uses, do you understand?" Xia Meng looked stunned, eyeing me up and down as if she'd seen a ghost, even more surprised than when I heard Wang Hai was caught soliciting prostitution a year ago. At that time, she even comforted me when I was indignantly urging her to divorce him. He was drunk, that woman seduced him, it was just a momentary impulse. "Your brother-in-law is a man, not a saint." He said that during that time, he was always thinking of me. I slipped on my high heels and fled straight into the elevator. That night, I applied to the company to take my annual leave early, called my best friend Shen Yao, and went to the Maldives. In previous years, I had always saved my annual leave to take Zhang Jieqi out for fun. This year, I had originally planned to surprise him with a trip to the Maldives, a place he had been longing for. During the day, Shen Yao and I went out to sea to watch dolphins, and in the evening, we enjoyed a spa while gazing at the waves. In our free time, we would watch the small fish swimming beneath our feet in the water villa. On the day before we were set to return, I was all geared up and ready to go snorkeling when Shen Yao suddenly exclaimed, "Zhu Zi, isn't this your home?" I took a closer look and immediately felt a chill run down my spine. Werewolf game venue available, 500 yuan per day, unlimited premium red wine, unlimited fruit, grand opening special. Each lady receives a complimentary bottle of ready-to-eat bird's nest. When I saw the last line, "Cute little lame dog, feel free to pet," I trembled with anger. I picked up my phone and saw over 20 messages from Zhang Jieqi. "Auntie, isn't your door code my birthday? I've tried it over 10 times and it's still not working. Reply when you get this. Hurry up, where are you? Password," followed by more than a dozen voice calls. I suppressed my anger and called back. As soon as the call connected, she cried out in a choked voice, "Auntie, why are you always causing delays? Every time it's a critical moment, you're nowhere to be found. I thought you might have died from a sudden heart attack." The password, "Hurry up." When she mentioned dying from a sudden heart attack, She deliberately emphasized her tone. I gritted my teeth, my voice icy cold. The password has been changed. Zhang Jieqi suddenly raised her voice. Why change the password all of a sudden? Hurry up and tell me the new password. My mom asked me to pick up something. I opened the app and clicked on Check Home. The spectacular scene truly startled me. A crowd of people stood at the door, buzzing with noise. Zhang Jieqi was surrounded in the middle, holding a phone with an anxious look on her face. I pressed and held the talk button. Zhang Jieqi, come to my house for a group live stream. What are you bringing that requires 15 people to carry it together? Zhang Jieqi frantically searched around and finally noticed the newly installed camera above her head, immediately switching to a flattering expression. Auntie, these are all my classmates. We're going to play werewolf, and your house is so spacious. Since you're not here during the day anyway, it's a waste to leave it empty. Are you her classmates? If not, this counts as trespassing, and I'll call the police right away. Come on, everyone look up. Let me take a group photo for you. Say cheese. The group immediately grew restless. The yellow-haired guy with a cigarette in his mouth looked impatient. What's wrong with you, walking the dog this early in the morning? Didn't you say this is your home? What a mess. Hurry up. $1,000. Hand it over. Zhang Jieqi's eyes widened. I only charged 500 for the venue fee. Why should I give you 1,000? Cut the crap. You made me run around all morning. Don't you understand that time is money? Either pay up, or you spend the night with me. Zhang Jieqi was so scared she looked like a little kitten, huddled in the corner, reluctantly scanned the code, and took out another 500 in cash. Had just sent the person away when she angrily sent me a video call. You've gone too far. Are you even my aunt, just for the sake of your stupid house? You almost got me raped. My first time was supposed to be saved for the school heartthrob. I don't care. You have to reimburse me for the money I lost. Send me 2,000. You. Her eyes suddenly lit up. Where is this? Aren't you at the office? I deliberately held my phone above my head. I'm in the Maldives. It's that 7-star island you saw online. Look, that huge water slide behind me. Remote control for the roof. And you can even stargaze at night. Oh my goodness, it's absolutely stunning. I'm even jealous of myself. Zhang Jieqi jumped up on the spot. Did I hear that right? You know perfectly well that the Maldives is the place I've always wanted to go the most. You went without me. I pouted. I didn't want to come by myself either. If it weren't for the fact that dogs aren't allowed to enter the country, I would have brought Duo. She suddenly stared at the screen with a sinister look. So you'd rather bring a dog than me? I'm not even as good as your stinky dog. Shenyao rolled her eyes hard on the other side, and I realized something seemed off. Jieqi, you ungrateful wretch, why compare yourself to a dog? You're not even the same species, and besides, you're not as good as one. Her face suddenly darkened, and a strange curve appeared at the corner of her mouth. Auntie, you forced me into this. I felt a chill down my spine and decisively hung up the phone. Shenyao yawned. I told you long ago that your niece is no easy person to deal with, and I warned you to be careful. Now you're stunned, aren't you? A few days later, Xia Meng and Wang Hai appeared at the entrance of my company, with Zhang Jieqi following behind, crying as if she had suffered a great injustice. Seeing me come out, Xia Meng shouted from a distance at the top of her lungs, Xia Zhu, get over here right now. Since it was just after work hours, almost everyone leaving was a colleague from our company. I hurried over in quick strides. Let's talk about this at home. Don't make a scene here. Slap. A sudden, sharp crack, and my face burned with pain. The colleagues behind me all froze in shock, whispering quietly, starting with a slap right off the bat. Could it be that President Xia is someone's mistress, and the wife came to confront her? Definitely. The whole family of 3 came to confront her. Their child is already so big. How could she do something like that? Stop spreading rumors. I've seen that little girl before. She's President Xia's niece. Don't be fooled by President Xia's usual tough, warrior-like demeanor. At home, she's just a high-end version of Dehua. Zhang Jieqi covered her mouth with a sly grin, and when no one was looking, she playfully stuck her tongue out at me. I immediately slapped her backhandedly, accompanied by a cry of pain. Xia Meng and Wang Hai froze on the spot. Are you crazy? Why did you hit her? I look innocent. I don't know. If you hit me, I'll hit her. If I hit you, it wouldn't be too much even if I killed you. Do you know how much trouble you've caused? Jieqi saw how hard you usually work, so she thought of collecting a venue fee to lighten your burden a bit. That's called business sense. If you don't want to, then forget it. But you even tricked her. For the sake of a lousy house, you got her involved with that blonde guy. She's still a pure, unmarried girl. As she spoke, she even started crying. I knew Zhang Jieqi wasn't smart, but I never expected her to be so foolish that she would even spread rumors about herself. Business sense. When God was sprinkling wisdom upon the world, did he hold an umbrella over your entire family? You're utterly clueless. The venue fee is 500 yuan a day, and you know exactly how much a bottle of my red wine costs, don't you? I treat you like family, but you treat me like a fool. Wang Hai, however, remained completely calm. Enough with the nonsense, just tell me, how are we going to resolve this? I glanced at Zhang Jieqi. Of course, we should call the police, but Jieqi, if you're lying, that's slander, and you could end up in jail. Zhang Jieqi covered her face and burst into tears. Is what you're saying even human language? Would Jieqi joke about her own innocence? We absolutely cannot call the police. If this spreads, how will Jieqi face people in the future? The crowd of onlookers grew larger, and some were even secretly filming with their phones. I knew we couldn't keep arguing, because no matter what the truth was, once a video is posted online, it's hard to imagine how far it could be twisted and amplified by those with ill intentions. In the end, I would be the one to suffer, possibly even losing my job. I covered my face with my bag and walked forward nervously, only to be tightly pulled back by Wang Hai and Xia Meng. Speak up, how exactly are you going to resolve this? At my most helpless moment, Shen Yao strutted in on 10-centimeter high heels. So, how do you want to resolve this? Xia Meng, with a dark expression, said in a commanding tone, transfer your house to Jieqi in advance, it'll be hers sooner or later anyway, and that Porsche of yours, the family car, is too old. Jieqi says it doesn't feel safe, she's been scared to tears several times while practicing driving. Shen Yao exaggeratedly covered her mouth, as if looking at an alien creature. Oh my, scared to tears, born without a princess's life, yet full of a princess's ailments. Oh wait, it's only called a princess's ailment when a princess actually has it. She's got what you call the wild chicken emotional dysregulation syndrome. Oh my goodness, how can there be such a shameless person in this world? Today, I've caught one alive. Sis, you must have been sneaking and using Zhu Zi's high-end face cream a lot, right? Your skin is so well maintained, thick and tough. If Emperor Qin Shi Huang had used your face to build the Great Wall, even 10 Meng Jiangness couldn't have cried it down. Wang Hai got anxious. Who the hell are you? Where did this stupid woman come from? Get the hell out of my way. Shen Yao pinched her nose in disgust. Go away, go away. A man rejected by Lord Hong isn't qualified to speak to me. I slowly raised my thumb, as expected of the woman I admire the most. Your mouth is as sharp as if it were poisoned. While others use mouthwash to rinse, you use red-crowned crane poison. Zhang Jieqi suddenly rushed forward like a madwoman. Who do you think you are? What does our family's business have to do with you? Are you jealous because I'm young and beautiful? You're the one who's a nobody. Your whole family are nobodies. I not only have the life of a princess, but I'm also destined to marry into a wealthy family. My boyfriend is the school heartthrob, a genuine rich second generation, and we're about to be together soon. You old and ugly women, no one will ever want you in your entire lives. You two are so lovey-dovey every day. Are you guys gay or something? That's so pitiful. Ha 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 ha. Shen Yao pouted, blinking her big, beautiful eyes. The school heartthrob at your school, his name wouldn't be Shen Ziyi, would it? Zhang Jieqi sneered coldly. Did my aunt tell you? Shen Yao shook her head. My name is Shen Yao, and his name is Shen Ziyi. What do you think our relationship will be? Zhang Jieqi seemed to realize something and murmured, I heard he has a beautiful aunt. You wouldn't be, auntie. Listen to me, I wasn't harassed by that guy with dyed hair. I was just joking. Please don't tell Shen Ziyi. You're not an old woman. My aunt is. You're much younger and prettier than my aunt. My aunt always talks behind your back. Zhang Jieqi was so anxious that tears were about to burst out, desperately grabbing Shen Yao's bag. At this moment, she still didn't forget to sow discord. Shen Yao and I felt quite helpless. Don't worry, I won't tell Shen Ziyi, because our relationship is, we both have the surname Shen, but I don't know him at all. Isn't that infuriating? Ha 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 ha. Did you hear that? She said. She was lying. Do you still have the nerve to extort? Do you still want the house and car? Ah, a familiar, groundhog-like scream erupted as Zhang Jieqi, like a crazed beast, charged forward to slap Shen Yao, but I kicked her a meter away. Xia Meng and Wang Hai's faces turned ashen. You've completely embarrassed me. How can you joke about something like this? Look at how useless you are, confessing as soon as someone tricks you. You're hopeless. Get home right now, and don't come out until the college entrance exam results are released. After that day, I finally had a period of peace. What I never expected was that Zhang Jieqi, who usually ranked at the bottom of the class, actually got into the best university in City A. On the day she received the express delivery from Jinghai University, Xia Meng was sobbing uncontrollably in the family group chat. Jieqi's achievements today would not have been possible without the support and affection of family and friends. The celebration banquet is set for this Sunday at the Four Seasons Hotel. I hope everyone can come and join in the festivities. The Four Seasons Hotel is the highest standard hotel in City A. Hosting a celebration banquet there would cost at least 300,000 yuan. Xia Meng and Wang Hai are usually quite frugal, even regularly borrowing daily necessities from my home. This time, they've really gone all out. The long-dormant family group chat suddenly exploded with activity. Jieqi really exceeded expectations this time, keeping a low profile and quietly getting into Jinghai University. That's Jinghai University we're talking about, enough for our whole family to boast about for a year. What do you mean by just showing support? We absolutely have to go. Uncle is a straightforward person and directly voiced his question in the group chat. Given Jieqi's usual grades, it's unlikely she could get into Jinghai University, right? Don't get it wrong and end up disappointed for nothing. Xia Meng immediately became displeased. What are you talking about, Uncle? Are you getting old and confused? The admission notice is already here. How could it be fake? Wang Hai also exploded. Pa, shut your mouth already. It's so unlucky. Who do you think you're looking down on? How could our Jieqi possibly fail the exam? My parents passed away early, and among all the relatives in our family, my eldest uncle had the hardest life, yet he was the only one who consistently supported me and Xia Meng. I felt my anger shoot straight to the top of my head. Did you two smear laxative on your mouths? Even a 3-year-old knows to respect the elderly and care for the young. Has the Animal Protection Society been taking too good care of you too? When you were borrowing money, why didn't you complain that the person was old and confused? When you got arrested for soliciting prostitutes and your uncle was running around trying to get you out, why didn't you complain that he was old and confused? Afraid that I might say something even harsher, Xia Meng quickly softened her tone. Uncle, please don't take it to heart. Wang Hai just talks like that. The important thing is that it's a joyous occasion, and what you said was really inauspicious. Zhang Jieqi never spoke in the group chat, but suddenly popped up at this moment. Uncle, I've already been admitted to Jinghai University. Don't you want to show some appreciation? Uncle replied with a cute sticker. Of course I should show appreciation. Just tell me what you want, Jieqi, and I'll do my best to make it happen. Zhang Jieqi quickly sent out a picture, showing the latest Chanel bag, which was 20,000 more expensive than the one I had promised to buy for her before. Seeing that my uncle hadn't responded for a while, Zhang Jieqi directly sent a long voice message. My status is different now. Those who get into Jinghai University are all elites, destined for wealth and high status in the future. It's like I already have one foot in the door of a wealthy family. Soon, we won't even be in the same social class anymore. How about I give you all a chance now? Why don't you all chip in and raise some funds for me? At second uncle, at youngest uncle, at second aunt, at youngest aunt. The group chat fell silent for a while, but second aunt and youngest aunt couldn't hold back any longer. Let your aunt buy it. Among our family members, your aunt earns the most, right? Right, your aunt has money. The most ironic part is the second aunt and the youngest aunt, Xia Zhu. If Jieqi likes it, just buy one for her. She's your own niece. Who else would you spend money on if not her? Such a joyous occasion, and you're the aunt. You can't skimp on this money. I was just about to retort when my eldest uncle spoke up. Xia Zhu's money didn't just fall from the sky. She earned it through hard work, working overtime and putting in the effort. Jieqi is going to college, not starting a business. Besides, what kind of deal is she making that requires 100,000 yuan bag? Alright, since it's a happy occasion, let's all be happy. This is a great opportunity for our whole family to get together properly. Zhang Jieqi didn't press further but instead tagged me separately. Auntie, you must come to the college celebration banquet. There's a surprise. Moi. It was a sense of eeriness and creepiness that could be felt even through the phone. I replied with a smiley face. Okay, last time I ruined your cake. This time I'll buy you a bigger one. Sending love. On the day of the college celebration banquet, I was in a great mood. As soon as I arrived at the hotel entrance, I was stunned by the scene before me. The venue was grandly and spectacularly decorated, with flowers cascading from the second floor down to the first, comparable to a wedding scene. The background music is Angela Chang's Flowers Blooming All the Way. The big screen is looping through photos of Zhang Jieqi from childhood to adulthood. In the photos, from the cute little hairpins to the exquisite princess dresses, were all carefully selected by me according to her preferences. Those beautiful photos were also taken by me over the years when I took her out on trips. I feel a bit dazed. When did that little one who used to say they loved their aunt the most every day, and why, turn into what they are now? Perhaps our greatest misunderstanding of human nature is assuming that everyone has a conscience. I suddenly remembered Shen Yao's teasing words to me, in life, it's inevitable that you'll have to eat shit sometimes. But don't chew it carefully, and don't ask why others make you eat shit. The host spoke with great emotion. Hard work yields rewards. There have been sweat and tears, persistence time and again, and gains time and again. Finally, we have realized today's dream. Friends and family at the scene were moved to tears. During the parents' speech, Xia Meng's voice trembled as she pressed one hand to her chest, as if delivering an acceptance speech. Since I was little, my mother told me that children from poor families grow up early. In my opinion, daughters raised with abundance turn out more outstanding. All these years, her father and I have done our utmost to provide her with the very best. As you sow, so shall you reap. Jiechi has truly made us proud, living up to all our expectations. Now, let's welcome today's little princess to make her dazzling entrance. Amidst applause and screams, at the end of the red carpet, Zhang Jiechi, holding a bouquet of flowers, walked slowly forward, stepping on a shower of flower petals. She wore an exquisite little gown with a train, carrying the new handbag she had shared in the group chat a few days ago, and this gown was the one she had taken a fancy to during her last shopping trip, priced at 28,000. The small crown on her head sparkled under the spotlight. This was indeed the style Zhang Jiechi liked, flamboyant and extravagant. Anyone who didn't know better might have thought it was the coming-of-age ceremony of some chaebol heiress. Zhang Jiechi maintained a smile throughout, and the moment she stood on the stage, she resembled an elegant swan. The people below were full of praise. A Disney princess on the run. Jiechi is so beautiful, even celebrities on the red carpet can't compare. Princess, please give your speech. Zhang Jiechi's vanity was greatly satisfied, and she cleared her throat. Thank you all so much for coming to my college celebration banquet. I am truly honored to share my joy with all of you. For the achievements I have today, the person I most want to thank is actually my aunt. I nearly spat out my drink. My face was immediately projected onto the big screen. Zhang Jiechi rested her forehead on her hand, summoning 2 tears. Since I was little, my aunt has given me so much love. Although she never had children of her own, her love for me has been even greater than my mother's. Sometimes I even wish that my aunt were my mother. I know my aunt is good to me, but I never expected her to. Zhang Jiechi choked back tears, took out a folder, and signaled the staff to project it on the screen. Soon, the entire venue erupted in an uproar. 2 chilling words appeared prominently on the large screen. Will, testator, Xia Zhu, female, date of birth April 5, 1990, ID number. Upon my death, all real estate, deposits, funds, and equity under my name all shall be inherited by Zhang Jiechi, executor of the will, Xia Meng. I confirm that I was mentally sound, clear-headed, and not subjected to any fraud or coercion at the time of making this will. Please, all relatives and friends, comply with its execution. Testator, signature. Zhang Jiechi suddenly turned to the phone on a nearby stand. Hey everyone, my aunt is a senior executive at Nanqing Technology Company. She won't go back on her word. Let's witness this incredibly loving and joyful moment together. Sending love. She's actually live streaming and deliberately revealed my company's name. Although Zhang Jiechi doesn't have good grades, she has a pretty face and has built a delicate little princess persona for herself, gaining quite a few followers on a certain social media platform. Xia Meng and Wang Hai looked shocked, clearly unaware of this beforehand. After a few seconds of reaction, the two exchanged a smile, looking at Zhang Jiechi with admiration, as if saying, so that's how it can be done. Truly my daughter. Next is the will signing session. My face appeared on the big screen again, and friends and family all gave a thumbs up. The barrage of comments also started to roll in. Of course, the amazing aunts are always someone else's, to the extent that it could make the news. So touching. I want an aunt like that too. Auntie, are you still in need of a niece? I had no choice but to brace myself and stand up. My eldest uncle grabbed my arm. Xiaozhu, this is no joking matter. You need to think it over carefully. I gave my eldest uncle a look, then walked straight onto the stage. Zhang Jiechi wore an expression of triumphant cunning. Auntie, here's the pen for you. I took the pen, and thunderous applause erupted once again. Sign, 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 sign. The scene was so absurd that I couldn't help but burst out laughing. Zhang Jieqi's face darkened as she shot me a sidelong glance. What are you laughing at, auntie? Hurry up and sign. So many people are waiting. You might even make it to the trending topics soon. I'll turn their scheme to my advantage. Jieqi, what I said at the time was, if you could get into Jinghai University, I would sign the will. Zhang Jieqi let out a long sigh of relief and gave the host a meaningful look. Now, let's move on to the most exciting part, reading the admission letter. The host carefully opened the envelope from Jinghai University. The atmosphere reached its peak. The barrage comments started scrolling again. Oh my god, I'm so excited, I feel like crying. Jieqi baby is so amazing. Which window did heaven actually close for her? Goddess Nuwa. Please also show some concern for your little mud dots. Zhang Jieqi held her head high and chest out, as if she had conquered the whole world. Everyone held their breath, waiting for the most thrilling moment. However, in the next moment, the anticipation on everyone's faces turned into shock and embarrassment. To the unadmitted students, dear student, the admissions office of Jinghai University hereby conveys the president's deep concern and message to you. Zhang Jieqi stared fixedly at the large screen, unable to snap out of it for a long time, and on the faces of Xia Meng and Wang Hai, I saw deep terror. It didn't take a guess to know that, given their financial means, this lavish college celebration banquet, along with the expensive luxury items on Zhang Jieqi, they must have spent all their savings. Zhang Jieqi couldn't accept the reality before her. It's impossible, absolutely impossible. I got into Jinghai University. You're taking revenge on me, aren't you? Give me back my admission letter. You old woman who can't get married, you old hag, you stink, don't expect me to collect your corpse when you die. I smiled and opened my phone. Darling, don't you usually watch the news? It's already trending. Care or secondary harm, controversy surrounds Jinghai University's unadmitted acceptance letter. Netizens joked, the body is still warm, Miss Zhang Jieqi. This is a cake ordered for you by Ms. Xia Zhu. Please sign for it. Zhang Jieqi had a sudden inspiration and whispered in my ear. You really bought a cake? Are you being this kind? Did you poison it? If I eat it and feel unwell, you'll have to compensate, the kind that leaves you bankrupt. At a time like this, you're still thinking about scamming. Sure, as long as you can handle it. I lifted the lid of the cake box, revealing a large, golden cake. It's just that the shape is quite unusual. A large, lumpy mass, with a level of realism that leaves one in awe. Ugh. The next day, Zhang Jieqi really made it to the trending topics, but not because of the rejection letter, it was because a video of her bullying Du Qianyu was posted online, and Du Qianyu truly received the admission letter from Jinghai University. In the video, Zhang Jieqi slapped Du Qianyu's face repeatedly, and her bracelet accidentally got caught in Du Qianyu's hair. Seeing Du Qianyu grimacing in pain, she laughed excitedly with a strange, twisted expression on her face. What's the use of being good at studying, born to two mute parents? You'll never be able to hold your head up high in your entire life. You know how to make fried rice, right? Make me a plate, and remember, I don't eat scallions. Keep the $2 as your tip. Ha 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 ha. The video quickly went viral online. The evidence is solid. Support Du Qianyu in reporting this to the police and defending her rights through legal means. Apologize and compensate. The campus is not a lawless zone. Soon, someone specifically edited a video, first showing Zhang Jieqi standing elegantly on stage, then switching to the ugly face of bullying, the hysterics when not receiving the admission notice, and finally the breakdown and roar in front of the golden cake. Caption, bullies only deserve to eat shit. Soon, Xia Meng received a lawsuit from Du Qianyu's parents demanding that Zhang Jieqi publicly apologize and pay medical expenses, compensation for emotional distress, totaling 100,000 yuan. Xia Meng called me crying. Isn't it just a fight between kids? Are these people really going this far? Her daughter gets slapped a few times and they want 100,000 yuan. These two mutes just want to take advantage of the situation to extort money. Your friend Xinyao, isn't she a lawyer? Can you talk to her and ask her to help us out? Even now, she can still be so naive. The perpetrators quickly forget what they have done, but the victims spend a lifetime trying to escape the shadows. Xia Meng, Zhang Jieqi got what she deserved. The fact that she ended up like this is largely thanks to you and Wang Hai. Xinyao is a lawyer, but she is now Du Qianyu's lawyer. By the way, I hired her to represent Du Qianyu in the lawsuit. Surprised or not, expected or not, after a moment of silence, there was hysterical cursing and wailing, the kind that was truly filthy. I feel no ripple of emotion in my heart, only a sense of relief. A month later, I sold the house, moved to a new city with Duo, and completely cut ties with them. As for Zhang Jieqi, the last time I saw her was in a ward at the psychiatric hospital, her eyes fixed on the ceiling. She kept repeating, "My aunt is the easiest to fool, she buys me whatever I want, auntie, I want a bag, I want a designer one," my mom said, "Whatever belongs to my aunt is mine, all of it is mine, Xia Meng, it's all your fault, you should be good to me for the rest of your life, I'm going to kill you." Xinyao asked me if I regretted all these years of effort. Actually, I never regret it, I only did what I thought was right and what I enjoyed in that moment, and I gained emotional satisfaction from it. Only by giving without expecting anything in return can one peacefully accept everything that goes against one's wishes. None of us have a God's eye view, no one can stand in the future and mock their past foolishness. Every experience is a step toward growth, letting go, and a better beginning. After hearing the two stories above, what are your thoughts? Feel free to share your opinions in the comments section, looking forward to hearing from you. If you liked this story, don't forget to like it, share it, and subscribe to my channel. See you next time.